Shalom, shalom. Mr. Brother Tazadar coming back with another lesson, Lord willing, edifying to the hopefully elect. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone to rule and teach well, peace and safety, and much blessings to the Yaakov that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth, and all truth is sincerity and diligence. All right, what we're about to read, man, is the crumbling of the dollar. Okay, this is what we've been hoping for, praying for, and it's just right here, it's just the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to read it. It says, you see the title, all right? So I'm going to start reading. It says, as we have consistently warned for more than a year, Operation Sandman has now been activated, with Saudi Minister of Finance Mohammed Al-Jadaan telling Bloomberg TV during the WEF Davos interview that the Saudis will gladly accept all currency for settling all transactions. Oh, that's a blow to the U.S. dollar too, and it's gonna tell you why. It says the foundational pillar of the U.S. global currency dominance and its ability to export inflation to the world is based on the so-called Petrodollar status, in which the U.S. agreed to protect corrupt Saudi kingdom in exchange for Saudi's demanding U.S. dollar for all oil transaction settlements. This agreement has been placed since the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944 and has carried the dollar until today. But this arrangement is now coming to an end because they did make that arrangement back in 1944, the Bretton Woods Agreement, that the U.S. dollar would be the world currency, and they wouldn't print more money than what they had, because you used to be able to take your money and trade it in for gold. Okay, and what it was is that the United States started printing more money than what they had. Okay. And then they just kept printing. See, they made this agreement under the terms of that nobody would police America. They would do their own printing, and nobody could oversee them but America, and what they did. They started printing more money than what they had. And then, they relinquished the fact that you can trade your silver or gold certificate in for actual gold, actual, money. Check it out. It says, but this arrangement has now come to an end. Very few Americans have any clue what this means to their assets and their future. Also, very few people realize that over 100 nations are prepared to renounce the petrodollar as the dominant currency for all settlements. Instead, many nations are going to switch to using the yuan from China, or the digital yuan, or the new BRICS commodities-backed reserve currency that's about to be launched by China, Russia, India, or other participating nations. The dominoes have been set into motion, and as this plays out, it means dollars will come flooding back to the United States as world nations dump the greenback fiat currency they no longer need. You see what I'm saying? So, man, this is beautiful. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So the dollar, which has been the world currency, which has policed the world, is going to be taken away, man. And all these dollars going to come flooding back to America, which is going to do what? Create hyperinflation, okay? Which is going to be, in turns, people, the dollar is going to be devalued. So, and people are not, and the pay is not going up. People are going to be, seeing these high-ass prices and not going to be able to purchase things, which going to, in turns, do what? Create businesses to close down. And all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. It says, this means dollars will experience rapid devaluation in their purchasing power, which will be reflected in higher prices, inflation, and consumer goods such as groceries, automobiles, and more. You see? Although this will take time to be fully realized, it also means that those people left holding dollars will be financially ruined as dollar purchasing power evaporates. So it says all those will take time to be fully realized. Well, listen, hey, man, this is from their perspective. All right, we know that the Lord said, I seen Satan fall as lightning. You see what I'm saying? Okay, we know that the Lord said, unless the days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. So this thing is going to move faster than what we expected. It says the government response to all this is almost certain to include a new wave of mindless money printing, adding yet more dollar inventory to the flood of dollars being dumped by nations of the world. The end game is, of course, hyperinflation as the dollar loses not just 2% of its purchasing power a month. It may even slide into losing 10 and 20% or even more per month in the final blowout stage. Think more Germany as the end game here. You see? Hey, bro. Look. It said, hey, you know what? Let's go. Let me look that up. One more. Oh, see? Check it out. Hyperinflation. This is what it says. Think of this. Hyperinflation affected Germany Peppermark, the currency of Weimar Republic between 1921 and 1923, primarily in 1923. You see? Let's go to that. A loaf of bread in Berlin that cost around 160 marks at the end of Zam. You see? Now that's hyperinflation for your ass. Okay, and look, it says, up here it says 1918, 1919, 1920, 1921, 1923. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Okay? You already know what the minds of these people was like, man. Okay? Look at this. It says a loaf of bread in Berlin that cost around 160 marks at the end of 1922 cost 200 billion marks by late in 1 year. In 1 fucking year. By November 1923, $1 was worth, I'm not even finna try to say that, but damn. Okay, so look what this guy just said. He said, think, think Weimar Germany as the end game here. Protecting assets now becomes a matter of urgency among informed Americans. And anyone holding dollars, protecting assets must now become a top priority. This means we should expect a rapid shift of excess dollars into hard assets over the next several months. Gold, silver, land, vehicle, ammunition, firearms, food, etc. Check COMEX silver inventories. If you want to know what the insiders are already doing, hint, they are taking physical delivery of precious metals and empty the vaults. The elder told us Elder Apostle told us to, invest in gold and silver. It said it also means that the prices we see today in almost everything are likely the lowest prices we'll see for years to come. At some point, plummeting populations, mass blanks die-offs, and rising interest rates will have a strong deflationary effect. But that doesn't seem to be in the cards for 2003 or even 2024. Lord willing, this nigga is wrong about this. It says all the strongest factor remains inflationary, and the Saudi decision to sell oils and currency other than dollars is going to devalue dollars, which means consumer prices will be inflated in dollars. We strongly urge all readers to investigate strategies for assets diversification and reduce exposure to dollar-dominated assets such as bonds and the entire U.S. banking system, which seems increasingly fragile. All right, and then it says, look at all these things. They list all these things. It says, learn more in today's Situation Update podcast. Saudi Arabia declares willing to trade oil in currencies other than the dollar. That's going to crush the dollar. Operation Sandman has begun and the domino will begin to fall. The U.S. dollar will head down the path of hyper devaluation as dollars flood back to the U.S. Those people left holding dollars instead of real assets will be wiped out. Was the FAA subject to the ransomware cyber attacks that grounded all flights? The incompetent, illegitimate Biden regime can't protect American infrastructure. China already has a map. Has already have a map of all cyber vulnerabilities across the U.S. infrastructure. Russia preparing for major offensive attacks Ukraine and NATO targets. Russia confirms it's facing an existential threat will likely target NATO bases. WEF leaders and attendees were likely told they might be targeted by missiles. You see what I'm saying, bro? China is set to coordinate cyber attacks with Russia, kinetic attacks. The era of Western dominance over the world is coming to an end. Russia to boost standing army to 1.5 million troops, mobilization underway. Western nations begin sending tanks to Ukraine. Ukraine not effectively deployed. So Ukraine cannot effectively deploy combined arms, so the tanks hardly matter. The world of low-cost consumer goods is over. Global supply chain will crater. So this is what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna get real quick because I gotta get up from here. This is this is all going into the dollar, man. Okay. This is James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich man," because you remember the article said, everybody that hold the dollar, right? Weep and howl, for your miseries shall come upon you. You know, everybody with these dollars, it's going to do what, man? It's going to put them in a bad case. Misery shall come upon you, right? It says, when you go in that word miseries, it's Telahipora. It says hardship, trouble, calamity, misery. So hardship gonna come. Why? Because your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye shall have heaped treasures together for your last days. You see? Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cities of them which reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You see? Hey, and the thing is that all you rich men, all you people that's comfortable in society with this money, hey, it's the death of the dollar here. Okay? It says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as the day of slaughter, man. All right, a lot of people has lived deliciously, having the nice vehicles, the nice cars, the nice homes. All right, in their mind believing that America would never suffer such things like, because the money is what keeps the infrastructure going. Now, when your money is devalued by 2% a month and 10% a month and 20% a month, what that does is create what? Panic mode with people. People are going to go ape shit crazy, man. Hyperinflation will be heavy here in the United States, man. All right, being that they don't need, they're in the, Saudi Arabia is accepting all different types of currencies for the trading of oil. That's going to devalue the dollar because, like I said, these dollars are going to be dumped back in the U.S. because they're not going to need the world currency. They're not going to need that dollar no more because it's not going to be the world currency anymore. Okay? Everything is going to a digital dollar. Okay? There's also an article that, look, when you, digital ID, look at this one. Because what? Look, I'm just going to read the title. It says the CBDC in 23. Federal Reserve planning to implement FedNow digital currency between May and July of 2023. American new digital dollars almost here as the Federal Reserve gears up to unleash it FedNow program at some point between now and next July. Okay? Look at and this was in December the 15th, 2022. All right, so life as you know it is about to change, man. Hyperinflation is finna, be a thing here in America. Okay? It's when you go to Revelations, the 6th chapter and what it is, 6th verse, it says, I heard the voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurtst not the oil and the wine. See, it says what? It says a measure of wheat for a penny. See, back in the ancient time, and this was the time of the Romans, a penny was a day's worth of work, man. It was a day's wages, okay? A penny consists of 10 asses, okay? So you'll be able to take probably one ass, let's see if it's going to be in the footnotes of it. A denarius, that's what a penny was, a denarius, okay? Let's see. And that's what it is. It says denarius containing 10. A Roman silver coin in the New Testament time, it took the name from being equal to 10 asses. Okay? So it was 10 asses. One whole penny equaled 10 asses. So a penny was a day's worth of work. So it would take a whole day of work just to get a measure of wheat. Okay? See if that goes into that. Okay? It says koinix. All right? A koinix, a dry measure containing 4 koitlei or 2 sitari, less than our quart, 1 liter, or as much as would support a man of moderate appetite for a day. You see? So you had to pay a whole day of work. You're going to have to pay a whole day of work just to fill your appetite. People got families. They got children. They got wives. So it says 1 day's worth of work was just for a measure of wheat, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. See that thou hurt not the oil and the wine. See, because you can do nothing, and that means you can do nothing to the truth, only for the truth. You see what I'm saying? Because, hey, look, this is just the truth, man. This is prophecy, all right? Because you know that the oil represents this word, man, okay? Pursuant to the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter, okay? They trimmed their lamp, they took no oil, you see? But the point is that, hey, it's finna get bad out here, bruh. Okay? Let's go right here. I believe it's Zephaniah 1. Yeah, this is Zephaniah 1. How ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. Okay? Mektesh was a merchant city, man. All right? You can liken it to, it'd be like your Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? Right? And you know, these dudes, I heard a cat yesterday hollering about, I'm about to get back into my stocks. Well, look, hey, it's a little bit too late for that, bruh. Huh? You see? Verse 12, it says, and all shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candlesticks and punish the men that are settled on their leaves, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Just sitting there comfortable, stagnant, thinking that, hey, man, everything gonna work out, everything gonna be fine. Nah, man, that's not going to happen. All right, the Lord said he's going to deal with men like that. It says, therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink wine thereof. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hastening greatly, even the voice of the great day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry bitterly. The day is the day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness, desolation, a day of darkness, gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. You see? And that's gonna be the spirit and the feeling when this dollar crash, man. When these people with these money in their bank account, they can't get their money already. You got a whole bunch of clips going out about the banks of America, all the things that's going on with that. You see, the money system is fin to crash, okay? And it's all set up by design because the Lord is bringing wrath, man. Okay, just like we just read, he's bringing wrath, It says a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced city and against the high tower. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the Most High haven't done it? Verse 17, I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured as dust, and their flesh as be dung. They're gonna walk as blind men because they don't know what they don't know whether they're going or coming. Everybody has a plan. In this day and time, they have a plan. This is what they're going to do, is what they're going to accomplish. Well, now you're going to walk like a blind man because you ain't going to know. You're just going to have to go with the motions. Whatever these devils set in place, this is what you're going to have to do. You're not, and then when it goes into this digital currency, it's going to have an expiration date on it. I wish I had the clips. You're going to have an expiration date on your digital currency, so you're not going to be able to save money. Ain't nobody going to be able to capitalize in this economy, okay? And then it's going to be controlled by blockchain. So if you don't do what they want you to do, they can just cut your money off. And then, you're going to starve to death, okay? This is what's going to happen. This is going into the implementation of the digital currency, man, okay? Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the Lord's wrath, in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even the speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. And this is what the Lord is bringing. Death, famine. And then when we read the last part of that article, let's go back to it. When we read the last part of that article, it said right here, global supply chain will crater. So all your basic commodities, you're not going to be able to get. All the things that you need, you're not going to be able to get. You're going to be at the discretion of, this devil, man, at the government, who's being controlled by who? The elites, the Rothschilds, all right? The red people, okay? So Lord willing, you are edified. Say shalom.